The content you're about to hear is a part of a paid programming segment. The views, opinions, and statements expressed belong solely to the sponsor and do not reflect those of Podcastic or its host. This segment is for informational and promotional purposes only and should not be considered as advice or endorsement. Listener discretion is advised.
What's up? Welcome to Creative Emotions. I am your host, Vaquita Q. Taylor. Welcome. If this is your first time joining, what you can expect is motivation, encouragement, information, empowerment, inspiration, transparency, and these good vibes, okay? And there's nothing you can do about that. And so if this is your first time joining, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am here with a special guest. Returning guest, somebody that you know very well. Welcome, Chef Wilson. What's up, man?
Good afternoon. Just walking in the studio and seeing you just bring back memories. We always was clowning. I love it. Yes. It's like going out of the country and coming back home. If you know that feeling, you hit the airport, you get in the car, and the closer you get to the block, you get excited. That's how I was feeling today. I'm not going to play, you know what I'm saying?
Like, I get to go home with you. Make sure you share this with your family and your friends. I do want to let you know that the book is available. You already know, okay? I Want My Own Husband, Mindset and Standards on Marriage. This is not about me, okay? Because everybody think like I'm talking about mine. This is not about me. This is different stories about different people that come to the realization to say, you know what? I want my own husband. Or men say, I want my own wife because they're tired of the dating scene or whatnot. But the main thing in this book is mindset and standards on marriage, which has everything to do with you. Okay? Because you have to invest in you. You have to love on you. You have to know you in order to get what you're looking for. And that's what I truly, truly believe. And so you can get this at www.thecreativeemotions.com. You can gift it. It will be on Amazon shortly. But I do have it on my website. Again, www.thecreativeemotions.com. I want to invite you guys to poetry and conversations.
I knew that was coming.
The next one is May 24th, 8 p.m.
Oh, that's my daughter's birthday.
21573 Grand River. Bring her on out. Bring Cam out. She'll like
it. She's old enough, yeah.
But come on out and support. Moose will be the feature for that night, and I'm just excited about it. Poetry and Conversation, May 24th, 2025. Make sure you make your way. So let's dive right on into this, this conversation. And the show title is Lady in the Streets, Bring Back Modesty. Today's show was inspired by the lack of modesty and the grotesque need for attention.
Absolutely.
It's everywhere. Okay. This is what we see. And so having a man, actually, we got another man. I'm sure he won't mind, chatting about it. But
oh, absolutely.
Talking about how is this affecting our generation now, right? Because collectively, nothing new under the sun, right? Everything, it kind of regurgitate. The clothes come back. Everything kind of come back. But social media is...
One thing I have to say about this topic, and I want to tell the ladies, the streets have been lying to you and all of us for years. It is no happy ending.
Wow. And what you mean by that?
It is no happy ending. When you're in the streets, man or woman, what it's going to do is it's going to drain you spiritually, physically, okay, mentally, and sometimes there's no coming back from it.
That is true.
I now have went back and I pay attention to my dad, and he was a businessman. So everything they were doing then, they're doing now.
Yeah.
And I seen people just back then. Now I look back on it, They just thought they were going to get it right, but never did. And that's when I say, you know what? These streets been lying for a long time. It is no happy ending. Believe me.
That's good.
You're not smart enough. You can think you're wearing something different. You're going to get it right. It's no happy ending.
Yeah.
It's when you're running the streets, it's just meant to subtract from you. It's nothing added. Unless you take the lessons and you get out of it. And I always say it's wisdom hidden in mistakes.
That is true. I think we should definitely be learning all the time. And I think that's a good point, because we are sometimes looking for that happy ending, not even knowing that you leave bits and pieces of you, when you give of yourself. And it happens when, women are not modest. And I do want to do a disclaimer, because people feel like it's victim blaming or shaming when we bring up these topics. I feel like these topics are needed more often than they're not. When I was younger, just coming in, kind of the church scene, I can't help the way my body is, but I can't help how my clothes are, right? Yes. And so I didn't realize that. And so I would have the ladies come and kind of swoop the little towel over my lap, or just let me know, like, baby, bring your skirt down a little bit. And now people are afraid to say anything to anybody. And when you go in church nowadays, there is no difference. You like, wait a Holy Ghost minute. Now, we used to have church clothes and then regular clothes. And I do want to put that number up on the screen, the call-in number. Again, if you are just joining, we're talking about Lady in the Streets and bringing modesty back. The number is 810-560-0658. And you can call in. We are talking about how much this is affecting our communities, our mothers, our young ladies. Social media not all bad, but social media gives you a quick fix. It's actually, to me, a lot of soft porn, to be honest.
I used that
to me.
And I was talking, and I said that the other night. I was with my lady. We were watching shows. I said, all this is soft porn.
Yeah.
So Q, what I believe, like what I see now from a male's perspective, women have become, not all, but a lot of women have become like over sexualized.
For sure.
Now they may say it's a fashion trend, but I don't think so. And like being sexy for the world is like a norm right now.
Yeah.
Women are so comfortable with posting all type of pictures of themselves. And I'm a man. I may look.
Yeah.
But after we look, it's like, wow, she really need a lot of attention and validation, right?
Yeah.
And we may watch you come into the restaurant or bar. And believe me, we're going to look, because we're men and we love beautiful things. But we know deep down inside that you're looking for attention and validation, right? And the wrong guy going to give it to you.
That is true.
The wrong guy.
That's true. And that's why I always encourage women and men, do your healing work. Go back and see kind of what's going on, because you become a victim and then you blame everybody else. And this is not a time to be a victim when it comes to what you allow people to do. We just have to receive or take back our boundaries, our power, and just understand, like, there is power in covering yourself up. There is power in dressing modest. There is power without letting everybody see everything. And it's like, oh, dang, what's under the, what? She got a nice frame or whatever. It don't have to be like, dang, I see her butt cheeks. Yes. I see her boobs. You can literally see people's butt cheeks.
Yeah, I seen some today.
Where you see them? Some see-through leggings?
No, actually, they had a dress that was pretty much see-through.
Wow.
And it looked like a bag of popcorn or something. And so
not a bag of popcorn.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's no shame. What I find a lot of women doing, they won't even work on their physical anymore.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's sad. I'm a man. I'm all of a man. You best believe. And I'm gonna tell you, at a certain point, after you see so many breasts out, behinds out, you kind of get immune to it. Right.
Wow.
So that's why men are seeking more of a deeper relationship and conversation with women, because everybody can be pretty nowadays with the right amount of makeup and hair.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody is
been
beautiful.
Talking about that hair.
Everybody can be. So when you ladies, you're not really doing anything special because we see it all the time. You know
what you mean? What do you see? What do you mean?
We see the sexy outfits. We see. I have not seen. Every woman is pretty much attractive with the right amount of makeup
of stuff on.
Yeah, add-ons. Okay. Right. So I'm just saying, like, now some man will most definitely take advantage of that part, but the man who really. I think you're seeking that you want to build with, he's not going to deal with it. Now, he may experience, now let's get to this, because you know I am cute.
He may
experience it.
Okay.
But we ain't building with it.
Wow.
Ain't nobody building with it. And then I think that the way social media is, it's a norm.
It is.
And no one wants to build, but men will experience you. I told my daughter, Q, I said, life is about experiences, but never be someone's experience.
Ooh,
ladies, you a whole bunch of somebody experiences.
Right? But don't be somebody experience.
Nah, and it's funny, and then we're going to get back with this. I will see at the beginning of the year, people, they'll post this picture. It'll be one of them getting married, them a house, or a ring and all this. But you've been clowning all summer. Then you want to post this in January. And then you give up the hopes of it soon as spring come around.
Wow.
Like we saying, being out there too much. We're confused. Make up your mind, please. We're confused.
Listen, if you are just joining, we're talking about Lady in the Streets and bringing class and modesty back. Shout out to Podcastic too. So Calvin Deal say, fact chef, seen a lot of it firsthand. He said class used to be first and foremost. And so we are looking to encourage our women. And I'm going to encourage encourage you guys. You know, don't be afraid to give somebody a compliment, but also a bit of encouragement on maybe toning something down. Example, you know, you are just so beautiful. Yes. You know, you don't have to, it don't have to be like, you don't have to show all of that because you just beautiful or whatever it is. But if y'all can take the time,
can I get you some
when
help?
You're led,
I would be like, you're so beautiful. You could have stopped right there. Okay. And that'd tell them that if you, all this other stuff. Look.
When I'm looking down,
you could have stopped. Yep, I said you could have stopped right here.
Okay, you're so beautiful, and then that may make her, you know, full
I'm gonna
away.
Put in there. You could have stopped right there, because some of them need that.
Oh, that's what you would say.
Yeah, you can stop. You could have stopped right there.
Oh wow. Okay, well then. What I'm going to say is, men, please start showing a little love and care by, you know, putting that out there. It may be good for the eye to see, but guess what? A lot of women are walking around hurting. I think I had this conversation with somebody. It's not your job, right, to go and save and to be a therapist for somebody. Absolutely. Or even to diagnose a woman, right? But there are women who, you know, when you see the lack of class and modesty, maybe they're not taught. A lot of people deal with histrionic disorder. I think that is...
What is that?
That is like you just need so much attention.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, that's also a real thing. It's a disorder. Just needing attention all the time. Just all the time. And so we got to be mindful of that.
I've never heard that before. So... is that when you walk in a room, social media?
You just need attention all the time. You know, you have people that are they'll be on their phone at the hospital, right? And they crying. They just the tears, you know, like, oh my God. Or they showing their bracelets and, you know, they going walking down the street and you got to see every little moment of their life. Like things around them are consuming them, but it's only to get attention and sometimes, a lot of times, validation. And so we're talking about, if you're just joining, we're talking about Lady in the Streets, okay? And bringing modesty and class back because women do desire to marry. And so I have two men here that can like testify to that. Like, yes, it is good for the eye, but to be able to be chosen in that way, you know, it may be a barrier because a man don't want the woman being, you know, so open with her clothes. You know, we come a long way. We come a long way. You know, not women like, he can't control me. It's really not about control. There is a saying that men choose who they marry, women choose who they sleep with. That's so messed up, but it can't be a real thing.
Wow.
And so a lot of women want to be chose, but you can do the choosing too. I'm going to say for women.
Absolutely.
You remember we had a show about that too. But we still want to be modest. We still want to hold a standard. Like, I don't want a dude with his pants sagging and characters on his shirt. Like, I can't. No, what we doing? And so you can have a preference and say, you know, I don't want my woman butt all out when she wearing tube tops every day. And so we're talking about bringing modesty back.
And that is, ladies, that is very, it's very sexy. Okay, when I see a woman out and she's not demanding attention, she's dressed modest. You can tell maybe she's shapely, but she's just not overexposed. You know. Now, if you've been married for a while and it's you and your husband, you're going on vacation, you're going on a date, that's something different. Please do that for your man, because we like that. So, but if you were out here and you're demanding it, but then know at the end, if marriage was what you were seeking and you didn't get it, that you lost.
All
right? You can't, I said it a couple minutes ago, ladies, don't be everybody's experience.
Yeah, that's a real
because
thing.
What end up happening, you're going to hide all your experiences, but then they're going to come back. You know, skeletons out the closet. So right now, what we're talking about, maybe it's what social media made it so acceptable.
It did. And right? I think the attire is really lazy now. Because, again, like, you know, the men say, yeah, we going to look. But, you know, that is your attention. Yeah. So if a woman is walking past a man and, you know, he just like, there go another one, you know, not like, oh my God, I'm about to lose it.
No, that'd be me. I'd be like, there go another one.
But when you're doing that, they like, oh, I got him. You know, he looking. It's mental. So y'all saying, hey, put some clothes on, but the attention that y'all give is not saying put some clothes on. So women are like really moving based on the attention that they get. Like the really, really big women, like...
Oh, they got it out too.
I mean, just out here with pajamas on and bonnets. They getting hit on too. So it's like you getting the attention, whether it's just to do whatever you're trying to do or not. They still getting the attention. So I say your power is your attention. And there is a way to check women without checking them. And that's pulling back your attention.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm going to share this. Because when we dive deep into this thing, maybe the validation and attention that you were seeking should have came from your dad.
For sure.
You know, I tell my daughter all the time. I said, Cam, my daughter's 24. And I said, I don't know if you realize it, but I said, you just beautiful on another level. And she's like, what? I said on another level.
Yeah.
Because her spirit, her energy, the way she keep herself, she's never in trend.
I got you.
You know, and trend will take a woman from her her energy as a woman. And it's strange because I see a bunch of ladies out here and it's like they're so excited about not being a lady. I don't know if you're old enough and you ever went to your grandma's house for the summer, and when you came back, she seen you was built different. So that's when you have to sit on that front porch.
Oh, for sure.
Now people will come by and visit you, but she's like, no, you don't get off this front porch. Now it seems like they so excited to be off the front porch.
That definitely was me. Like, get over here, Quita. Because that's when I started getting a little...
And they noticed that.
Yeah.
So...
couldn't go nowhere.
So...
I thought I had some. I put it out. No, but for real. Yeah, that's what it is. Histrionic disorder. Yep. HPD.
Disorder.
Yep.
So...
and good evening to Cynthia Bridges. How you doing?
Oh, what's up? That's my lady.
Oh, hey. Hold on. I think I know her.
Yeah.
Miss Cynthia.
Yeah.
Trey.
What's up, baby?
Okay, what's up, baby? If you're just joining, we are talking about Lady in the Streets class, bringing class back in modesty. This is a live call-in show, so if you have something to say, call in 1-810-560-0658. I always got to look at that. That is a bootleg number. But What women don't hear is men are tired of the lack of decency. And so could you just straight up just say that?
We sick and tired of it. You ladies don't have no boundaries. You have no standards.
I'm definitely tired of it.
Okay.
You know,
and so women don't believe that.
I
You know why?
don't know why.
Instagram models on a rise. They getting, just
You said what?
Instagram models and
Oh,
people
I thought
that
you said grand models.
no,
Okay.
people that are putting themselves out there with what you guys say you're tired of, they're getting the attention.
Yeah, but they're getting attention, but they're not getting the husband. And when I'm trying to explain to people too, so recently I reunited with an ex of mine, right? We just had lunch. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you she's a gorgeous woman, right? Mm-hmm. So when she walked in, everybody like, they tap me. I'm looking at them like, oh, they about to go crazy when they see her. She walked in, she came by and said, I said, oh, you are a natural now. Right? She got sister last night. Before, she told me I would never see her regular hair.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, she didn't grow up. She didn't tapped in. Because, honey, this is freedom.
So when we talking,
yeah,
she don't have no nails. She was the nail queen.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was in all the nail magazines.
Shedding.
It was manicure.
She was shedding.
I said, she said, I finally heard you.
Yep.
She said, I finally heard you.
Because they say it all the time. We just don't be listening.
And she said, since as I got older, I realized I brought too much attention, the wrong attention into me.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. I said, can you mind recording that for me?
So we got a comment on here. He says, how did it become a man's responsibility on how a woman presents herself? It is not. It is not a man's responsibility on how he presents himself. It's a man's responsibility to have, don't do that because I did that, to have his own self-control, right? And your attention is your power. If these women were not getting attention, they would not feel so highly about themselves. And that's just a fact.
I don't think they're feeling highly about themselves. I think they're feeling mighty lonely about themselves. That's why that attention just brings them up a little bit more than they were.
That can be a real thing.
And I learned that women who seek attention really never get it. You know what I mean? Because what women do now is not for the men, it's for other women.
Yeah, y'all keep saying that, but I'm going to tell you something.
Is.
I don't get dressed and in my mind say, oh, they gonna be looking, the women go, like, I don't get dressed for even a man, like I get dressed for myself.
Because you're a woman, it's a difference, you're not a female.
This the male and the man thing.
Yeah, I'm about to break it down to you.
All right.
So I understand what you're saying, Miles. So what happens is when a woman walks in a room with other women, right, her validation comes from how many looks she get opposed to the other woman. Right? And your friends will do it to you also, right? You always got one that's going outside and the other. So what we wearing tonight, we just gonna casual keep it, and then she come out the room. We're like, I thought you said, well, come on, girl, let's go on and go. So women do it for other women because see, I was talking with my daughter, and I said, my daughter's doing what she's doing with her life, with her business. So I said, Cam, are you going to have a family one day? She said, yes. I said, I need you to put that in the plans because time clicks different from a woman than a man. I said, I need you to know that. So what Miles was simply saying is when a woman looks in the mirror, she sees things slowly changing.
Oh, absolutely.
So the validation, she sees it. But then when she gets the likes and the hearts and the people in the inbox, that's really saying, well, it's not moving as fast as I thought it was. I still got it. that mirror was lying to me this morning because Miles said I was fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew I shouldn't have wore this dress because I was a little chunky in it, but he told me I looked fabulous. Queen. So, mirror, I don't like you. So I know what you're saying, Miles. Yeah. They do it for other women.
Yeah, because we don't know what kind of persons they be rocking. They be rocking persons, they be like, look, they gonna hate on this. Look. They gonna hate on this.
Somebody said, facts, Miles. Women get dressed for other women. Facts, Miles. They get the attention, but not the husband.
Oh,
absolutely.
I don't know. I can't rock with that. Women getting dressed for other women.
You got to realize you're not the average woman. And that's another thing we don't give each other credit for ourselves when we got to understand we are not average. You know what I mean? Those who hang around, if you consider yourself average, then you had a deficiency right there. You know what I mean? You had an attention deficiency because you have to learn how to love yourself first.
For sure.
So, and most people don't.
But if I say something, women may think that I'm hating because I have these conversations in person. I'll pull a sister to the side. I'll say stuff, and I don't mind anybody saying anything to me. Like, please, if you see something, if you see tag or you see something showing, just let me know. Like he just showed me the little ash I missed. I thought I got all that part. But look out for a sister, right? Yeah. That'll happen. I'm my sister keeper, so I care about my sisters. Like, I care that women are wanting to be chose, or they're wanting this companionship and these partnerships, but they're stuck because the attention is getting the best of them, or the lack thereof.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna go back what Miles said and what you said also. You're getting the attention, but you're not. The end game was for you to be a wife, and you're not receiving it. You're just leaving away with a lot of battle scars.
Yeah.
So my thing, a couple things I despise hearing these days. I see women, I'm out here, I'm in these streets, I'm living my best life, and then I'll be right back because they know they leaving out of town for a sneaky link and coming back. And I'm like, ladies, like, man, we're not slow. So if you're wondering,
y'all be assuming too now though. Everybody ain't going. Get sneaky links.
Yes, y'all are.
Yes, please. We're not slow.
Again, okay, let's just say you're not. But me and Fred know quite a few that go to get the sneaky link. Matter of fact, we probably know some people been involved with sneaking the links.
You know what? I mean?
Absolutely.
What's inappropriate? When you see a woman that's uncomfortable in her clothes, do you notice it?
Yes, yeah. Because it's busting out.
And then she looking uncomfortable.
She always doing this.
Yeah.
And then,
you gonna have to.
I'm gonna tell you the ones I can't stand is stretch pants, and on across their butt they got BAM. I've seen it.
No pants like that.
Boom. And then what I dislike is the see-through stretch pants.
Yeah.
But the panties got a print, a name on it, so they purposely wear it so you can see that. You're doing too much, right? So being overexposed, I would have to say a little imagination. Now, I got to put this disclaimer in. This doesn't go for if you're married or in a relationship. Please be your everything for your man or your woman. I'm going to tell you right now. Because you their chicken dinner for the rest of their life. And they going to need a little hot sauce on it. You know what I'm saying? So if you are in a committed relationship, go that extra mile for your relationship. But ladies, I'm going to drift back where I'm going. Give your relationships the same energy that you give the streets.
Okay, that's what's up.
And you can't lose, but you can also hear about that sometimes when you go to your open mic, the poetry and conversations.
Yeah, right? Poetry and conversations. Make sure y'all make your way out. Like May 24th. Okay, it's a whole vibe. Yeah, just make sure you screenshot that. Okay, and make sure you come on out. Doors open at 8:00. It's a real good vibe. But can you tell that the music is really a huge influence?
Yes.
On how the women are dressing and approaching men and things of that nature?
I would say yes, but no. Here's why. Did you see the movie Sinners?
I did.
To me, it had a lot of that in it. However, it all depends on the DJ you have at your event. He would set the tone of that party or that event.
Well,
so if the DJ don't play it, the women won't display it. So that's something you have to just look at.
I guess it depends on what type of environment you are in. But even on their own time, I'm talking about overall. These women that are the rappers, the women rappers, and they are promoting these different things: singleness, sex, man bashing, forget a nigga, like no clothes on. Like, people are being influenced by the music. And that's a real thing. Ecclesiastes 1:9, the NIV version says, "What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. History is continuing to repeat itself." So we had a lot of inappropriate music.
Yes.
Now we know.
I would agree.
These things that we was listening to, like talking about your anaconda, don't want none, all this stuff, like, you know, we was dancing to some crazy stuff. And so now, not to judge harshly this generation of this music, but the music is still influential. It's still affecting the women nowadays. Like, forget my baby daddy. Like, what? It's your baby daddy. Like, why? So, yeah. I believe that the music has a lot to do with it.
It does, Q, because if you repeat something enough, you're going to believe it, even if it's something positive about yourself. So if you listen to this song 3 or 4 times on the radio, you gonna start. You gonna think, "Hey, that's me. That's my life. Let me try this." So you know, ladies in the street is a topic. If you guys please call in, what's that number? Because I like.
Yeah, you gonna put that up, the little Timu number. So Steven said the host will not acknowledge the male expert opinion. She asked the question, got the answer, but keeps pushing back on the truth. I am not pushing back on the truth. Cynthia Bridges say, "Hey, love." Stephen Kennedy, music has always been influential. It's not the music, it's the parenting. Kids don't change.
Oh, yes,
parenting
right.
do. And I can agree with you there, brother. Definitely can agree.
And what's his name again?
That's Kennedy.
Kennedy, that was, oh, hey, what's up, bro? And I was just about to say that, ladies, your children are watching you. I think I said this before. How can you demand so much out of your children but so little from yourself?
Ooh-wee. That's good.
And you get to a certain point where they're baby birds. So they're going to listen to you. They're going to see how you hunt, and then you got generational dysfunction. So that's why it seemed like this thing is ongoing. It's out of control.
It is.
It's the saggy pants too. They watched their dad and uncles do it. Now they couldn't wait till it was their opportunity to do it. I will say this again. The streets have been lying to us for years.
Definitely.
Maybe before you were born. It's no happy ending. Only thing it does is you're in the streets and you're spending money. People at bars are promoting it. Okay. And then right now the world is profiting off of women being out of control.
Wow.
Because they're taking the trips.
Wow.
They can't wait to go to Dubai.
Yep.
They can't wait. I'm serious. They're profiting off. I was looking at some travel advertisement.
The women
it used to be a man and a woman walking down the beach holding hands. Now it's the girls. They like, I'm like, so like, come on, ladies, spend this money. Y'all gonna drink, want to eat.
Yeah.
Come on, like at the end of the day, time, I would say, clicks different for a woman. You may not desire it now, but you're going to desire to be somebody's wife.
Yeah. At some point, we got to be real with ourselves.
Yeah, you're going to desire that being in the bed and just touching the feet. You know about touching the feet.
What?
You know what I'm talking. You know, you be in the bed and it's just your feet be touching. Come on, you know about that. Those are intimate moments, and you really can't experience that in the streets. So what you're doing is
naked is literally become the new norm.
Yes, you're setting yourself up for therapists. Yeah, you really are, because it will come a time.
It's good to find one. It's okay. Yeah. It's not. It shouldn't be a stigma. It's a really good thing.
This is a very good topic, but I hope that they're really listening. Us, man, we just kind of tired of it. We see it all day long on reels, posting pictures. Yeah. I mean, it's like
cooking, clapping your butt. I mean,
yeah, because now they got one lady. She just walk up to the thing, pap, and walk away,
and clap her butt.
Yeah,
like away. Slap her butt or clap her butt.
Clap. She lift her leg up, pap, and walk away.
Oh wow!
Oh really?
Yeah. She's on my reels all the time.
Oh, that must be what you looking at.
No, I have to admit, if you click on it, it will. Yeah,
it's gonna feed you.
You're gonna feed on it. So
why has the mindset shifted to less is more? Like the less, like just covering the nipples, or just the pants with the gathering in the butt. So it's just everything is. I feel bad. The men, I don't know. I guess it ain't no shame in their game, because they running around.
But you said why? It's what Miles said earlier. Women do it for other women, and they know that competition is stiff, so they always got to take it to the next level for the validation, for the likes. I'm just saying, it's real talk, and they just taking it to the next level. Okay, they're really taking it to the next level.
Stephen Kennedy. He talking about thanks for acknowledging me, host, and stop stating my comments as somebody. Stephen Kennedy says, I think the host is kind of hot. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Q, this is an amazing topic. And I want to say, I hope if ladies, if you're watching, not being offended, we're just trying to help you to where you really want to get. And you don't have to do all of what you're doing. Less, you will see, less will end up being more. And it will get you to the finish line.
I think it helps with confidence. You know, those are some things you can't really like instill in somebody. Like, they have to become it. They have to walk into that confidence. And so if you're not confident in yourself, you will do and dress a certain way to try to help build that up. But I believe it's artificial at that point.
Where does confidence come from for a woman?
Just accepting who you are, accepting your flaws and all, accepting that nobody in this world is like you. You know, you one of a kind, and you're not trying to be like anybody else. I don't look for validation from anybody.
Do you think it starts from home, from parents?
I think it can.
I think that's healthy.
I definitely think it can.
Healthy validation.
Yeah, I think it. I think a lot of women, and you know, I invited the Holy Spirit in the room, but I didn't say it openly. Mm-hmm. But I believe a lot of women are dealing with daddy issues. I do believe that. It was a time that I came to the realization that I suffered from abandonment issues. I suffered from, you know, that was just one of the main things. And I didn't know that. And everybody's like, oh, you so strong, you so this, you so that. But people deal with stuff, you know, differently. Now, I didn't outwardly just start going crazy, just, you know, trying to seek for that attention. Okay. But I had issues with my boundaries. Okay. You know, it was different things that I allowed. It was, you know, not standing all the way up for myself, or not just having my bottom line. And so a lot of women deal with that. They deal with telling a man no, or holding those boundaries in fear of the man going away.
Wow. I'm glad you
And so
said
we
that.
got a caller. Might have to put this on.
Hello, caller.
Hi, welcome to Creative Emotions. Who am I speaking with?
Hey there, Chef. How you doing there, sir?
Oh, my
what's
goodness.
up, my brother? What's up, Kennedy?
How you doing? Hey.
You my brother, man. I'm 140. I know you.
140, brother.
I like your hats. You be wearing them, bow ties be banging. I'm going to give you your flowers right now.
Appreciate it. But I appreciate this topic. It is a great topic. Mm-hmm. But I think this topic would be a lot more effective with just women. And stop putting the responsibility or the burden or even the acknowledgement of the man. I think women need to handle their own issues and to sell that amongst themselves.
Okay.
You know, I agree with you to disagree with you, because what the woman is seeking can only come from the man. And that's if they want marriage, they want to be a wife. So they have to understand the impact of what they're doing that's really crumbling their dream. But I would like to say that probably a few more women on the platform that would hold Kennedy accountability and not be offended. Mm-hmm. But maybe like Q, you shared some things a couple minutes ago, and they took a lot of courage about abandonment. So that'll let the other ladies know that I think I suffer from that also. And me not wanting to turn down attention from men that I really shouldn't be getting it from, maybe I can stop doing that also. Yeah. Because that's a downfall. But I do agree with you. I would like to hear from more ladies about this topic and being a little bit more transparent. I think that would help other ladies, Kennedy.
But I appreciate that.
So the reason why I say that, we have already established as men, women dress this way for other women. and I think women need to establish or call a truce amongst themselves of not shaming each other. I think women dress the way they do and do the things they do because they talk about each other so bad that they can't get caught out there looking like how they talk about other women.
Yes.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
So
that could be a real.
If they settle it amongst themselves and say, hey, look, I'm not going to talk about her hair because she don't have it done or whatever the case. Because man, we really don't talk about that. We're not looking at that. We don't know what kind of bag, what kind of wig, what kind of style it is. We don't care about that. We don't know that. Women are doing all these things for other women, and now it's coming to a point where all the women are looking the same, with the same eyelashes, the same makeup,
that's what he
the
just
same
said.
hair, the same furry boots.
Yes,
right?
You can't stand
Kennedy. Yes, I agree with you.
The same stars on their face, right? All the same. It's just women need to call a truce amongst themselves and take their power back.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And be pursued, right? And one other thing I will say this: it's okay for a woman to go after what she wants, right? Stop waiting for the man to come to you and being chosen because you're left to what chooses you. But if you choose what you want, you get what you want.
Okay.
I'm out on that one. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
Thanks for calling in, Kennedy.
All right. Shout out to Ricky Williams. He say, but they won't see it until it's too late.
That's what I was just saying. Time clicks different.
Yeah.
We ought to be very open and transparent with this. Women mature before men because of life cycles.
No, that's a real thing.
Women in their 40s start approaching hormonal changes, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's physical and sometimes it's internal. But you're playing with time you don't have.
Listen, no, we don't know how much time we have, honestly. So you need to be present and be intentional, because everything we do will be a part of our legacy. But modesty is just not outwardly, and that's one of the things before we end that I wanted to talk about. Modesty is your inward beauty. You have to cultivate your inward beauty. I think that's what will make a woman want to, change her dress and how she move and how she look. Not being proud and self-centered. You have a lot of women that just feel like, oh, I'm that, I'm all that, and then men looking at you like, you look like SpongeBob. But that is confidence. Absolutely. But that's confidence that they have. It may be, false to other people, but it's real to them.
No, absolutely.
Prioritizing your faith over your personal display, seeking attention and admiration from others, that has, I believe, put women on a downward spiral. Having self-respect, talking about your speech and your actions.
Yeah, another call. You got this, Q?
Go ahead.
Hello, caller. Thanks for calling in. Who we have the pleasure of speaking with?
This is Rhea from Robert Real.
What's up, Rhea?
Hello there.
The ladies represent.
What's up, lady?
Y'all know I always tune in. I had laser surgery on my eye today, so I can't see.
Oh, but you can hear.
But I can't see.
Well, at least you can hear us.
Right.
I can hear. Let me call in on this one.
How you feel about this topic? Lady in the street, bringing back modesty in class.
Totally agree.
Okay.
I feel like where I think we're lacking women, honestly, I think women learn from men and men learn from women.
Absolutely.
If men paid more attention and really, not even in a sexual way, in a brotherly cousin way, say, hey, you look this, I think you should wear this. Or, hey, I think, we're attracted to that. But see, younger girls see what these men are attracted to.
Yep.
And that's what they want to dress like.
Exactly.
And that's not cute. I remember I dated an older man and I tried to dress real sexy and provocative for him. He was like, "That you look like a slut." He flat out told me,
"Wow,
you look like a slut."
Wow, Rhea, how old was he?
Whoa! I said, and I never, but it molded me. I was like 20 years old. I was younger.
How old was the guy?
Oh, he was old. He was like 34.
Okay. Okay.
I wish I was 35. What you talking about?
You know what? No, that's a real thing. If men, I believe, will be like straightforward. I've had some men that have been straightforward, and it is like, it's a little check, a little bit. Yeah. Just like Miles was talking about it earlier, how at one point he was pouring into this woman, telling her, hey, you don't need the hair. You don't need the nails. You don't need all of that. But a woman has to get to the place where she knows she don't need it. And it's a journey that you have to be on.
Yeah, and it's a need. It's not a need. It's a want. Some women want that.
Right.
I'm cool either way. I love my blonde hair. I love my black hair. When I have my hair back black, I have women give me more compliments than men.
Yeah. No, that's the real thing.
I had a question, Real. So you're calling in. What advice can you give the women that are listening that how unnecessary it is to be in the streets the way they are now?
No modesty and no class or having it.
I don't give advice. I give suggestions. I am not a therapist.
We'll
I am a regular person. And when they out here with these that burns my.
Yes, honey.
You said the bonnet.
Oh
my God.
And the lack of care.
Yes.
And it's at work. It's in everywhere in business. You come in looking like you just rolled out the bed.
Just sloppy.
And I don't get it. I pull people to the side. I've pulled women to the side, and that's my suggestions to them. I don't like to embarrass nobody, but it's something else going on that we don't see.
That's true. And that's what, we did. We talked about that
level.
too. Yep.
All right, y'all. I ain't going to hold y'all up. I ain't going to sit on the phone. I appreciate it.
Thanks for calling in.
All right.
Bye.
You know, Q, I like what Rhea just said because that's what's lacking. You said it earlier in the show. You said, I'll pull them to the side. And when I was coming up, I've seen plenty of older women pull a young lady to the side.
Yeah.
And I think we need to bring that back.
We do.
We don't
need
really
to care
need to
about each other
shame
more.
them, but just pull them aside. So, you know, what are you doing?
Like, what's going on? Is everything good?
Absolutely. Y'all should bring that back. Just pull them to the side.
But you know what? Men like, oh, I can't wait to sundress season. And guess what they doing? Getting a sundress with the sloppiest booty, no panties on, just like, oh, they gonna be looking at me because y'all going crazy.
That's what Todd be saying, looking like a busted can of biscuits.
But men going crazy about it. I can't wait to sundresses. So they looking for the sundresses right now.
I love when my lady wears sundresses.
Okay.
She with me though.
Okay.
So we do sundresses.
Period, Cynthia.
Yes.
Ricky
She gonna be backing on that. But
he said 140. What up? We got a few minutes. Ricky Williams. He said 140.
Oh, what's up, Rick?
Yeah.
He working a paint shop.
Yeah, that's my boy.
This has been an amazing show.
Yeah.
It's almost something that need to be discussed again.
Listen, I want you guys, please share this. Share. We are literally walking billboards. We are, going to set the tone for the next generation. So I'm encouraging women, get back to modesty, get back to class. One thing you would never do is know people's motives. So you can't move and operate where you think you know somebody or you think, they doing it because of this or they doing it because you don't know any of that. All we can do is be encouraged and in charge of what we're doing, how we're dressing, how we're leaving out of the house, what we saying. Again, modesty is just not the outer appearance. It's your inward appearance as well. I see a lot of women with bad attitudes, talking reckless. I mean, cussing men out. I mean, just every other word, a cuss word. Like, I don't care. Everybody just so hard. And it's like, let's get back to a place where we can tell the difference between men and women. Let's get back to that. So what you want to leave with?
I'd just like to say that I appreciate all the callers and women. You sometimes, I think I've said this in the past, the only soft thing about a woman these days is when you lay down with her. It's nothing else soft about her.
Wow.
And man, we're attracted to the opposite. We need that. We need that in our life. Stop giving away your virtue.
Wow.
Once, because, how can you get it back when you adopt another mindset, And ladies, I'm going to leave it with this. If you have broken and gave yours away, talk to a younger lady about keeping hers.
Yeah, for sure.
If, sometimes we're out of season and stuff, what I'm saying? You can't go back. Yeah. Teach these ladies, these young ladies about their virtue. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming on too.
I love being
But I want to leave y'all with something. Just think about modesty in class.
Yes.
A greater respect and dignity, protection from just being looked at as an object, a greater focus on inner qualities over the superficial, and this outside world, empowerment, self-acceptance, increased influence, personal growth, positive first impressions, because it's never a right time to do a second first impression. So just make sure you stay on that, and breaking off society pressure. Don't be pressured by what people are doing, putting on these full face makeups and doing these TikToks and these reels and these Instagram things. Don't be fooled by that, okay? Because everybody has a beauty that should be on them and in them, and find yours, right?
Yes.
And do it with modesty, and do it with class, and do it with virtue. Thank you so much for joining us. Guess what? I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. See you next time. Next week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.